shouted so loud that everyone would hear me, drugs are not your friend. They only come to destroy, destroy, and destroy. So loud that everyone would hear me, drugs are not your friend. They only come to destroy, destroy, and destroy. My name is Latifa and I am a addictions counselor, and I'm hoping that if you like and share that the content that I create on this page can help bring awareness to not only recovery but also trauma, mental health, and other issues and challenges that we may experience in life. We're all going to go through things, but I think it's important to create a community of supporters that can help guide you through that process. So please take a couple of seconds, subscribe to the channel, so therefore I can continue to be a benefit in some aspect or in some way. So drugs. I don't like
No way.
I do not like drugs. For many of the people that I have had the experience to work with, and I say experience because if you really see the process of what it takes for someone to be heavy in addiction and then embrace sobriety, I am truly honored to say that I'm a part of that process, because it's not easy and it's really hard for you. And so when you are battling addiction, you get so low to a point that that's really your only option, is that you really have to depend on your support system to have encouragement to motivate you, because drugs will have you so screwed up in the mind. It would actually convince you that you have nothing to offer to this world and that life was going to remain the same, and that the way life is going right now, it has no option, no opportunity to become better. And it's all lies. I have seen people close to their lowest or even at the lowest, which we would call their rock bottom, literally get their family back together, get jobs, get their license, just do so many great things. And it's all because they just took an opportunity to believe in themselves, and they had good supporters in their family to do so. So the thing about drugs is that it only takes about 30 days, just 30 days, for your brain to begin to start to heal back close to where it used to be. Drugs is a chemical change in your brain. So when we see people acting out and demonstrating crazy behaviors, or what we call like outrageous behaviors, these are things that starts from up here. So they really can't just stop. It's really not that easy. They can't just stop. It takes a lot of treatment. It takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of rewiring of their brain to get them back to the state that they were. We got to think about it. If you started using it at the age of 10, 12, 11, or 13, which I have had clients that have started using cocaine, heroin, whatever it is at that young age, it's a possibility that your cognitive state is stuck at that age. So in the clinical world, we always ask when we're staffing cases, what is that person age and cognitive or emotional age? It's two different things, because you can literally see a man and a woman age 35, 45, 55, but their cognitive age, because they have been using drugs for so long, is at the age of a 10, 11, or 13-year-old, because that is how much drugs would destroy your brain. The criminal activity, are you catching DUIs? Are you still in it? It's just straight chaos, because that's what drugs do. There is no way, I have never seen it in all my years of living on this earth, I have not seen anyone use drugs and it just bring joy and happiness to their life for years to come. It starts out that way, but then it slowly begins to take and destroy. And so, I think it's important that we just try to support people as much as we can, but challenge yourselves to kind of learn a little bit about what the stages of a person that is addicted go through. It's not an easy process, and I think it's just my responsibility to shed more light on that subject. So therefore, as a community, we can kind of figure out more ways to help that person, because there's a lot of big stigma attached to it. Yeah, because we know the behavior is crazy. And, when you're on drugs, you open yourself up to literally do anything. You would do anything. That's just how the drugs are wired. You would do things that you would never in a million years have thought about doing years prior to using drugs. Drugs will have you sacrificing your last little bit of money. It will have you putting your children in horrible, dangerous predicaments. And then also it will have you strip away all of what you have of self-esteem. Confidence will go down the drain, because when you go and do things that you know you would never do, it impacts how you feel about yourself. And then, like I said, what you feel that you can offer to the world. So it's just a crazy, crazy cycle. Just gain the courage. Like, the first thing, just gain the courage. Understand that the things that you are doing is simply just a characteristic of having an addiction. I'm not judging you. The things that you have did in your past, I know it is because you have a substance use disorder. I already know that. The characteristics you have developed, the manipulation, the lying, all the dishonesty, the betrayal, all those things that you have done, you know, safety concerns and issues, overdosing, all those things that you have done were simply characteristics that you had to develop in order to maintain that lifestyle. But the challenge comes in is when you begin to consider embracing recovery, then those characteristics that you develop, they will serve you no purpose as being a productive citizen. Okay, so when you are trying to build and rebuild healthy relationships, you having the characteristics and behaviors of lying and manipulating is not going to take you far. So you have to be willing to make a conscious decision that you want to change. And so there's a difference between making a decision and a conscious decision. A decision is just simply, hey, yeah, I decide today that I'm not going to do this. A conscious decision, starting from today, moving on forward, I'm going to be intentional about everything that I do. So if I say that I'm not going to use drugs or alcohol, then I'm going to be intentional about who I talk to. What am I talking about? Where am I going? So therefore, you would be more attentive to what we say, your people, places, and things. I've seen so many lives destroyed. However, as a clinician, even I know that I cannot make anyone change. When I'm meeting someone, I always try to help them figure out what is your motivation for change. Addiction is a very hard thing to cut and to stop. So therefore, you have to have intrinsic motivation. You have to have something deep within inside you that's going to encourage you to stop using alcohol and drugs. You have to come into sobriety on your own. No one can force you to do it. One of two things. If you try to make someone stop using alcohol and drugs, for one, they are going to do the opposite only because you told them to do it. That's first and foremost. And the second one is they're going to do what you tell them to do, but it's not going to be sustainable because they are not motivated to do it. But if it wasn't motivated by themselves, if they don't see or have a connection to how this can make my life better, then they're going to keep doing the same thing. So you have to just allow people to come into sobriety or embrace sobriety on their own. And it's hard to do, but hey, that's just what's required. So that was just a snippet of how I feel about sobriety. If you have any other questions, or if you wanted me to cover another topic, please comment down below and I will make sure to upload weekly videos.